The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Malabar man escapes armed assailants. A 24-year-old Malabar man managed to escape his demise when a group of about 5 armed assailants confronted him on Sunday night. Police said the man was sitting at the side of the road on Croton Lane, Malabar at around 7:30 p.m. when 5 armed men approached him. Residents heard the explosions and immediately called the police to the area, where 9mm spent shells were found. Arima police are continuing inquiries. Arima taxi driver shot and injured during struggle with armed robbers. A 45-year-old taxi driver was shot and wounded by 2 assailants who tried to rob him on Saturday night. Police said the driver picked up 2 passengers on Pro Queen Street, Arima, at about 10 p.m. The men asked to be taken to Trinidad Road, Wallerfield. As they approached the area, one of the assailants held the driver in a headlock and pointed a gun at him. The driver fought back but was shot in his midsection and back by the other assailant. The driver reversed the vehicle as the assailants alighted from the vehicle and ran through a nearby track. The injured driver drove to the Arima police station, where officers took him to the hospital. Police said the driver was listed in stable condition up to Sunday morning. Mother desperately needs help after tragic death of children's father. Apart from processing the death of her children's father, Carlon Roberts, Jelaline Cruikshank is also struggling to figure out a way forward to care for their 7 children. Carlon Roberts, a 43-year-old construction worker, was doing renovations on a house near his home on Saunders Trace in St. Mary's Village, Moruga, on Saturday. After he finished work, Roberts dropped off his tools at home shortly before 3 p.m. He then went to talk with friends who were making a fireside cook at the popular liming spot in front of his home. A short time later, at about 3 p.m., a Nissan vehicle approached the group and an assailant opened fire on them. Roberts died on the spot, just 1 month before his 44th birthday on April 26. 3 other men, Damian Marshall, Kadeem Quash, and Newman Mohammed, were wounded and rushed to the San Fernando General Hospital for treatment. Marshall and Quash are brothers. Officers from the Barrackpore and San Fernando police stations were called to the scene. When Newsday visited on Sunday, remnants of the horrible tragedy which had taken place were still visible. The pot the men were cooking in was still there, and candles were placed around the blood which marked the spot where one of the men was shot. Jelaline Cruikshank told Newsday, "I do not know what happened, but we just heard something like firecrackers and that was it." Overcome with grief, a bewildered Cruikshank stared into the distance as she worried about the future of the couple's 7 children, including 3 girls ages 3 months, 11, and 16, and 4 boys ages 4, 8, 14, and 15. Cruikshank said Roberts was the home's breadwinner. One of the couple's children is preparing to write this year's CXC examinations. Her relative, who requested anonymity, said, "She's going crazy. You know what it's like to live with 7 children? 1 daughter writing CXC and the last one is 3 months old, but you don't know where your next dollar is coming from? Right now we're clueless because it's not 1 or 2, but 7. If a brick did fall on him and he died, I would have accepted that. If he did drink rum and did fall down a drain, I would have accepted that." The relative said Roberts had no known issues with anyone. While he loved drinking alcohol, the relative said he always came home to sleep if he drank and was never disruptive. He also kept to himself. Protective of Robert's children, the relative said she is traumatized to know such a brazen act took place at the liming spot where children often played as well. They pondered, A man come and shoot up the place and we don't know what all of it about. So yes, I am fearful for the children's lives and his girlfriend because we don't know if anyone would come back. We don't know what all this is about. A co-worker of Roberts and Quash, who requested anonymity and did not witness the homicide, was still in shock given that he worked with the two just moments before the shooting. He recalled, "He came to drop his tools, walked back down the hill to get something, and that was it. We had now done finished working." One of the gentlemen who was shot was also working with us, and that's the one that's critical in hospital. Whole day we were laughing and talking, whole day. We sit down and we were talking about how we were going to finish the roof on the house we were working on. He described Roberts as a very dedicated father who would have borrowed money to make sure his children ate. He stressed that's what he was going to do. Me ain't say thief, borrow. He was going and work this morning. He was going and run a next hustle this morning. Describing the community as family-oriented, everyone said they were now on edge. However, they thanked the police for their quick response after the shooting and commended the investigating officers for being friendly and helpful. No arrests have been made. The Homicide Investigations Bureau, Region 3, is continuing investigations.